Welcome to the Library of the Music Academy. We take great pride in our collection that we have over here. This library is quite historic in the sense that work on starting a library and putting together a collection began almost simultaneously with the creation of the Music Academy. And so the collection actually starts from 1928-29. Great stalwarts such as T.V. Subbarao, and then the great scholar Dr. V. Raghavan, then later T.S. Parthasarathy and others have worked towards putting together a unique collection that is completely dedicated to South Indian classical music and dance. The Academy has a collection that spans many languages. We've got English, Tamil, Telugu, Sanskrit, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi. Actually, the Academy Library comprises the private collections of some great scholars. It acquired the collection of Professor P. Sambamurthy on his passing in the 1970s, and that added hugely to the corpus of books that we have. Much later, the collection of Sangeeta Kalanidhi Embar Vijayaraghavacharya also came to the Music Academy. In recent years, we've had the collection of Vinjamuri Varadaraja Iyengar being donated by his daughter. And then we've got smaller collections that have come to us as well, too numerous to mention. And the core of this collection is around 200 very rare volumes, all of which have now been digitized and are available for scholars to come here and consult on our desktops. Let me see what I can show you today. Here I have the Sangeeta Sarvartha Sara Sangrahamu. This is the edition of 1897, but this is even more precious because this is the edition of 1854, 3 years before the first Indian War of Independence. In fact, this book holds the record for being the first Carnatic music book ever to be printed. We've of course done a lot of restoration work in this particular volume. It's got strengthening borders now so that the pages don't become brittle. Each individual page is now enclosed in its own sheath or covering. This is a fully Telugu book, and this is probably the first book which contained the printed book rather, which contained the lyrics of some of Tyagaraja's compositions. The book itself was a big success because it had 3 editions, and then several others plagiarized entire contents from it and wrote their own versions as well. Right from the first conference, the Academy decided that it would publish the papers that were presented, and so the first journal of the Music Academy came out in 1930 with an editorial that says Ourselves, and it talks about the inauguration of the Music Academy. It also covers reviews of certain books. Unfortunately, we don't have an original copy of our first journal, so we have a photocopy here, but the rest of it are all original journals. The journals are meant for the scholars because that's where they get all their analysis of ragas and who said what and how music changed over the years. But to me, the great joy is always in looking at the souvenirs. The souvenirs began in 1935, and this is the first souvenir that we have. K.V. Krishnaswamy Iyer, having taken over as president, he decided that we needed to have souvenirs as fundraisers, advertisements in each one of them. And so every page has got an advertisement, and then it also has the list of songs that people performed and on what date they performed. You had a lot of cinema advertisements at that time. The great mythological Tamil talkie, Oriental Films Madras, Setu Bandhanam. I have a couple of personal favorites in these journals, in these souvenirs, which I am going to take you through. M.S. Subbalakshmi, an advertisement from her Savitri, and it says Narada's celestial music. Remember, M.S. played the role of Narada in the film Savitri. Narada's celestial music from Savitri on HMV Records, Kokila Gana, M.S. Subbalakshmi. And if I am not mistaken, oh yes, here it is. The previous year, she again features, I think she holds a record. She must be the only artist who's featured on the cover of the Music Academy souvenir, not once, not twice, but 4 times if I am not mistaken. Never before was great music thus mirrored, and you've got her here in an advertisement. And the conference, as you can see, that here happened at the Senate House. It was not a great conference or a concert as far as MS was concerned because She was such a popular star that people gate crashed and the concert had to be called off. The Music Academy published an apology the next day saying that next time we feature MS Subbulakshmi, we will ensure that proper security arrangements are made and people can then listen in peace. So, these are the journals of the Music Academy and these are the souvenirs of the Music Academy. This is a historic find that we discovered very recently in our collection. The first ever Bharatanatyam souvenir published. This was done in the 1930s by the Music Academy. Great historic tomes, 3 big volumes. They look like the cooling towers of a thermal power station. This is our restored copy of the Sangeeta Sampradaya Pradarshini 1904, Subbarama Dikshita. The original book was not this big, but when it was restored, it expanded in size and then it's become 3 huge volumes. So, this is the original edition of that particular book, 1904. This book is most respectfully dedicated with permission to His Highness the Maharaja of Ettayapuram as a token of the esteem and regard by B. Subbarama Dikshita. What is this? This requires probably 2 people to carry it. This is the Karunamrita Sagaram of Abraham Pandita. This is really the first ever record of a conference for Carnatic music. So, it actually documents the mother of all Carnatic music conferences, what we call the world of the Lek Dem today. Here you have him, Rao Sahib Abraham Pandita, a very famous doctor of Tanjavur, who was very fascinated with Carnatic music, greatly assisted by Muttaya Bhagavatar, and put together this entire set of conferences which finally he compiled into this book called the Karunamrita Sagaram. Here we have lot more books, books on music, books on dance, books on language, books on Tamil literature, and then suddenly you also have, remember the award Sangeeta Kalanidhi, inspired by this book, Sangeeta Kalanidhi by Tachur Singaracharlu. This has been put together inside a rubber band just to keep it in position, but we have completely digitized this copy and so people can now view it online. So, published in 1912, price ₹1, 4 annas by the Tachur brothers, Sangeeta Kalanidhi, or the third book in music. It is very likely you can imagine K.V. Krishnaswamy Iyer coming to the library, picking up the book and saying, hey, this makes for a fantastic title, an award to be given in this name. I am not sure if he did that, but then I am quite certain that the title was inspired by this book. When we began the digitizing of the books, we also thought we should digitize the photography collection of the Music Academy. It was quite a big task. There were more than 4,500 photographs that we needed to digitize. The oldest of the photographs that we had was this one. This dates to 1929 and it is the first conference after the registration of the Music Academy happening at the University Senate House. Just a handful of people with the University Senate House windows forming a very beautiful backdrop. Once the Music Academy acquired Sweet Home, which was the old bungalow that stood here, we found a very interesting set of photographs pertaining to that building. So, here you have students of the Teachers College of Music under the watchful eye of Mudikondan Venkatarama Iyer preparing to learn some song or the other. A beautiful long room with wooden windows, slatted doors so that air could come in even if the door had been shut, stained glass in the corner, beautiful old building. And then the front of the building, the Academy Committee in 1952 posing in front of this building. You can see the trellis work and the huge arches, and then the Teachers College of Music, students and teachers posing in front of the building as well. Then when we thought that we knew everything about what we had, we discovered this. We were almost going to throw it away, and then we discovered that this was the first sketch done by the architect of how he wanted the Music Academy to be. It's very bad at this point of time and it needs to be restored. We are still struggling with it, but you can make out the drawing that he has done of the building with respect to the surrounding roads, how he wants the seating, and you more or less realize that it is still largely the way he planned it in his first sketch. When the Academy's foundation stone was laid, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru came, and so here you have him seated next to Rajaji, KV Krishnaswamy Iyer, TTK, Kamraj, C. Subramaniam. They are all here for the laying of the foundation stone in October 1955. Somewhere in the front, MS Subbalakshmi must have been seated preparing for her concert. Huge number of albums, and we had to remove all the photographs, ensure that the corners were straightened out, the photographs were all digitized, and today you will find in our collection in the library several albums like these, each one pertaining to a particular year of the Music Academy, artists, awards, Boy Scouts, volunteers, committee members, all of them having posed. There is a great beauty in some of these black and white photographs, something that can never be matched by color. It's with great pleasure that I introduce two people who are the mainstays of the library of the Music Academy. The first is Jagadish. Hi Jagadish.
Hi.
Who after several years with the USIS became our consulting librarian, and it is with his coming that a lot of organization has actually come into the library.
The different collections of the library can be accessed through the online public access catalog available at the library as well as on the website of the Music Academy. Now I will show you the premises on the desktop where the databases can be accessed. First is the library catalog, which can be browsed as well as it can be searched also. For example, if we say Tyagaraja, the whole collection on Tyagaraja will be available for reference. So you can see the records, full records of the collection or each book on the screen. The journal can be also accessed through the catalog. So these are the journal indexes where each article can be traced through this particular access. Then we have the digital library, which has digitized versions of books, then the journals, the newspaper clippings, then also the photographs which we can show. If you want to click on the PDF file, this goes to the particular document. With the photograph database is also nearly 3,000 and odd photographs in this collection, plus we are planning to do some more. The catalog is also available on the Music Academy website. You will find on the top bar the library. If you click on the library, you will get into the journal, journal index and library catalog. The library catalog can be searched through the browse option and the search option. The full text of journals are available. So this either can be viewed or it can be downloaded. Then we have the journal index, through which you can also search journals by search or browse options. So we have a page which is Ask the Librarian. So people can send us queries for which we can provide answers, and then by doing research on the type of subjects which they are requesting.
Satya joined the Music Academy 15 years ago, Satya? She came in as a student of the teachers training course. She came at then she stayed on, and she is now practically the library personified. Before the catalog went online, all of us depended on Satya, and even today I think Satya knows the books and where they are better than what we know. இல்லையா உங்களுக்கு எல்லா புக்கும் எங்க இருக்குன்னு கரெக்டா தெரியும் இன்னைக்கும். And during the season, Satya is probably the most hard-worked person that we can ever find. 1 minute she'll be handling the tambulam, next minute the students will be shouting, Satyaka, we need the tambura. Then somebody else will be wanting to use the library for something. The awards will be being written, so she'll be coordinating all that. So she's one of the most busy people. Committees may come, committees may go, but people like Satya are the ones who actually keep the academy going on a day-to-day basis.